Imagine a caterpillar inching along, confined to the limited perspective of the branch it was born on. Its tiny world is shaped by the fears and worries that keep it from straying too far. What if I fall? What if a bird snatches me? What if the elements are too harsh? So it stays in its self-imposed cocoon of worry, never experiencing the freedom and beauty that exists just beyond its self-limiting beliefs. But then something miraculous happens. The caterpillar begins spinning a different kind of cocoon around itself, this one tightly woven but malleable. Within this chrysalis, a metamorphosis takes place that seems impossible from the caterpillar's limited vantage point. By letting go of its former identity and trusting the greater process, it undergoes an unimaginable transformation. One day, the chrysalis casing becomes restrictive rather than protective. The creature within has changed so profoundly that its old confines have become a prison. So it begins straining, pushing, struggling to break free from the woven threads that once shielded it but now restrain its new form. With relentless effort and trust in the struggle, it eventually cracks through the chrysalis and emerges into a new world as a beautiful winged creature. A butterfly. Can you imagine the mixture of terror and elation as this newly reborn butterfly took its first fragile flaps? Everything is so different, so bright, so full of freedom and possibility now that it has transcended its former boundaries. And it only happened by letting go of its old limited shape and trusting the process of becoming something greater. Like the butterfly, all of us are meant to continually undergo transformations that demolish our self-imposed chrysalides of worry and struggle. You see, God's universe has an incredible breakthrough envisioned for you, but first you must let go of the fears and anxieties that keep you stuck in your current limited cocoon. What worries are you letting weigh you down and prevent your own metamorphosis into something beautiful and transcendent? The miracle of the butterfly is proof that when you stop worrying and start trusting the greater process, your whole world can change in amazing ways. A new incarnation of yourself is ready to take flight if you will just surrender your struggles and let go. A new incarnation of yourself is ready to take flight if you will just surrender your struggles and let go. But how many of you feel bogged down by constant worries and anxieties that prevent you from soaring to those new heights? Worries are like anchors weighing you down, keeping you stuck in the same limiting patterns and self-imposed prisons year after year. The job you hate but can't seem to leave, the unhealthy relationship you remain in out of fear of being alone, the dreams and passions you've shelved because you've convinced yourself you're not good enough or it's not practical, all because of those incessant worries clouding your mind. Just think about the typical worries that consume your thoughts on any given day. Am I going to have enough money? What if I get sick? What if my loved ones aren't okay? How will I ever get out of this rut? The mind spins in anxious circles, burning through your mental and emotional energy by focusing on potential future problems that may never even manifest. And the more you worry, the more you reinforce neural pathways that make worrying a deeply ingrained habit. This chronic worrying acts like 100 pounds of weight on your shoulders, hunching you over into a defensive posture where you can't stand up straight and tap into your full potential. The burden of worry drains your spirit, cutting you off from the energy, optimism, and creativity you need to pursue your biggest dreams and make the changes you know you need to make in your life. Can you feel how that weight is holding you back right now? Those nagging doubts and worst-case scenarios looping endlessly through your mind, keeping you trapped in a perpetual state of stress and overwhelm. That heavy anchor of worry is what's keeping you from evolving into the next incredible version of yourself that is waiting to emerge. And worries create more worries. It's a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. The more you worry about one thing, the more your mind starts to catastrophize and reach out to find other things to worry about as well. Pretty soon, your worries are like a heavy, dank fog clouding your entire reality and path forward. You become paralyzed, unable to make decisions or take risks because you're so bogged down by the weight of all that mental anxiety. Worrying is really just a profound lack of trust at its core, a lack of trust in yourself and your capabilities, a lack of trust in the inherent process of life, a lack of trust that things can and will work out in your highest good even if you can't control all the specifics right now. That lack of trust reinforces the worries and fears, which then makes it harder to trust, and around the cycle goes. But there is another way, a way to cut the anchor rope of worry loose so you can finally rise up to soar on the updrafts of synchronicity and abundance that are always available. A way to let go and trust that God universe has a plan for you greater than any worry-induced fear could possibly comprehend. You see, your worries aren't just weighing you down. They're blinding you from seeing the bigger picture and higher vision that your soul essence is here to manifest. Think about all the spiritual wisdom teachings throughout the ages that have pointed humanity toward letting go of worries and trusting in the divine plan. From the Bible saying, "Look at the birds of the air, they do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them," to Buddhist teachings about non-attachment and living in the present moment. There's a consistent thread about surrendering our human tendency to grasp and worry. The great Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, teaches the importance of acting without being attached to the fruits of our labor, trusting that the universal laws have our highest good mapped out. Lao Tzu's famous words, "By letting it go it all gets done," point to the power of allowing rather than anxiously trying to control every outcome. Even the modern spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle reminds us, worry pretends to be necessary but serves no beneficial purpose. When you don't cover the present moment with unhappy thoughts and worries about the future, reality arises spontaneously and you meet it as it is. These diverse teachings all circle back to the same fundamental truth, that our worries create our suffering, and the antidote is to let go and trust in the inherent intelligence of the universe to guide us toward our highest fulfillment. To stop swimming so furiously against the current and instead surrender to where life's river wants to take us. How many of you have had moments where you let go of your usual worries and everything just flowed and worked out better than you could have micromanaged? That's the power of getting out of your own way and trusting that you're being guided by benevolent forces far wiser than your limited individual mind. I could share countless examples of people who hit their rock bottom, fully surrendered their worries and illusion of control to a higher power, and had their lives completely transformed in the most beautiful ways as a result. Like the butterfly, they allowed their former limited selves to die off so their greatest incarnation could emerge from the ashes. There was the woman trapped in a soul-sucking corporate career who got fired, and instead of worrying about money, decided to pursue her passion for painting that she'd suppressed for decades. Within 2 years, she was having her first gallery showing and supporting herself fully through her art. Or the man who lost his wife to cancer and, in his depths of grief, finally let go of his constant worries about maintaining an image of success. He started being authentic about his pain, which allowed him to forge deeper connections and find his true life's purpose in supporting others through tough transitions. I've seen people let go and trust their vision for a new way of living, quit their secure jobs, move across the country or world, and have everything fall into place in the most miraculous flow once they stopped questioning and worrying about how it would all work out. You see, worrying is all about doubting and fearing that things won't work out okay. But trusting is expecting that everything happens for a reason beyond your limited perspective, and having faith that forces are aligning to bring you toward the highest fulfillment of your goals and desires. One of the most powerful practices is to start each day releasing your worries about whatever is weighing you down, your finances, relationships, health, career, and affirming your trust that you're being guided toward your greatest good. I surrender my anxieties about XYZ and trust that this situation is unfolding perfectly to move me toward more abundance/happiness/peace. You can even take it a step further by acting as if your worries have already been resolved. And the breakthrough you desire is inevitable when you fully surrender and trust. Because that's exactly what happens when you truly let go and allow the universe to orchestrate circumstances in alignment with your highest good. Life kicks into a synchronistic flow where seeming obstacles turn into opportunities and amazing openings you could have never predicted or worried your way into start lining up. What does a breakthrough feel like? For many, it's that revelatory moment when the light bulb finally turns on after dwelling in confusion and darkness. The cloudy path forward suddenly gets illuminated and you realize, aha, this is what I need to do. It's that lightning bolt of clarity that electrifies you with motivation. For others, a breakthrough is an unexpected door swinging wide open. Maybe a dream job opportunity materializes out of nowhere, or you meet the perfect partner after years of struggling to find the one. It's those miraculous coincidences that seem to defy the laws of probability and happen because you stopped blocking their energy with worries and resistance. And for those seeking a more spiritual awakening, a breakthrough can be a transcendent experience of expansion, where you rise up out of your small, limited self and tap into the infinite field of consciousness. You realize you're not just this single, separate individual, but a multidimensional being interwoven with all of creation. Profound insights pour through, and you're forever transformed. No matter what shape your personal breakthrough takes, it always involves transcending the limited fears, worries, and doubts that kept you feeling stuck and confined. It's about breaking through those self-imposed chrysalis walls to spread your wings into a whole new stratosphere of possibility. I've had the privilege of witnessing so many of these breakthrough experiences firsthand as I've coached people to let go and trust their journey. Like the woman who worried for years that she wasn't good enough to start her own business, but one day had an epiphany that gave her the complete roadmap to launch. She just needed to get out of her own way. Or the man trapped in a downward spiral of health worries and chronic pain, who surrendered it all to God and immediately started receiving intuitive guidance about dietary and lifestyle changes. Within months, his body was healing rapidly in ways medical professionals called miraculous. There was even the young woman terrified she'd never find her purpose, who spent a spontaneous weekend alone in nature. As she released all her worries and simply allowed herself to be present, she had a vision of her true calling so clear and vivid that she dissolved into tears of joy and awe. These breakthrough experiences are available to every single one of you because that's what you're truly destined for. Not a life of petty worries and constriction, but one of continual growth, expansion, and opening into your highest human potential. Just like that butterfly, your soul essence is ready to undergo a profound metamorphosis if you'll only let go of the limited cocoon you've been trapped in. So let's take a moment to get clear on vividly envisioning the breakthrough you most want to experience. Whether it's financial abundance, a healed body, a thriving relationship, a clear purpose, or a direct experience of the divine, allow yourself to feel the texture of that reality as if it's already here. Can you feel it mesh at that profound shift that happens when you stop clinging to worries and truly let yourself trust in the greater intelligence and benevolent forces conspiring for your ultimate fulfillment? It's like dropping those heavy anchors that have been weighing you down for so long. Instantly you become lighter, more buoyant, able to see with clarity instead of through the murky lens of anxiety and doubt. You're no longer swimming against the current, but allowing the river of life to carry you toward your highest evolution. This is what the spiritual teachings have pointed to across cultures and centuries, that suffering ends when we let go of our attempts to control every outcome based on fear. True freedom and breakthrough emerges when we surrender our limited worries to the vast orchestrating wisdom of the universe or divine source. We've heard inspiring examples today of what's possible when people hit their rock bottom and made the choice to completely trust, and seeming tragedies turned into unexpected open doors, how debilitating health crises became miraculous remissions, how stuck stagnation gave way to profound realizations of life purpose. These stories prove that you don't need to have all the logical details figured out ahead of time. In fact, worrying about how it will all come together is just another way of blocking the infinite creative potential ready to conspire on your behalf. Simply make the commitment to release your grip on whatever fears and anxieties have kept you confined. Surrender, allow, let go, and trust that this is all part of the process of your transformation, just like the butterfly, because a breathtaking new incarnation of yourself is emerging from the chrysalis of your former limited identity. If you can only stop worrying and start trusting that it's unfolding in perfect divine timing and alignment with your highest good. An extraordinary breakthrough experience is inevitable when you get out of your own way and flow with the cosmic forces carrying you toward your greatest becoming. So let this be the day you declare your faith in that process. Wherever you've been stuck in worries and doubts, let them go in this transformative moment. Make the decision to act as if your breakthrough has already happened by taking the next inspired step, no matter how small. Trust that this is all part of the magical unfolding toward your rebirth as the highest vision of yourself. You are a human metamorphosis in progress. And as you stop worrying and start trusting the journey of your soul's ascension, you'll be able to look back in awe at just how transcendent your own butterfly transformation turned out to be. The struggle, the letting go, the emerging into a whole new reality of freedom and possibility, it was all part of the divine plan you could never fully see, but can now live directly as your truth.